Hello, everyone. Happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday, and welcome to another segment of Voices of Empowerment with Dr. B. I love the new name, you all. I love the new facelift that we have, Voices of Empowerment. Yes, formerly known as Divine Femininity United. We had to expand, you all. We had to expand because although we are 100% and we began focusing on divine femininity because yes ma'am, okay, however we have expanded. We've had so many of our divine kings sharing our spaces with us, and I'm like, it's only right. I have evolved from the polarity or the duality mindset. I really have. And I'm more in alignment with, and there's nothing wrong with that. Don't get me wrong. There's nothing wrong with that focus. But I'm more in alignment with the oneness of all, to be honest. Because even separating the two is division. You know what I mean? In my opinion, of course, you can feel however you feel. But I personally have kind of evolved from that space of calling things or categorizing things because it's all encompassing, right? We all have all of it. In me is divine masculine as well as divine feminine. I am one, right? My divine masculine is actually what helps me to protect myself and to speak up for myself and to put boundaries out there and to put my foot down and things like that. That is my divine masculine. That my divine masculine is where I get the drive and the authority and the being able to have dominion and to square my shoulders back. That's my divine masculine in a positive way, obviously. But my divine feminine is what allows me to feel, to cry, to love endlessly, to embrace, to hug, to, encourage, to motivate. So in me is all, just like in you is all, light, dark. Yes, light and dark is in us all. You know what I mean? Because it's necessary. I'm here to tell you, yes, we are taught and kind of programmed to condemn the dark, condemn that shadow part of you. No. Don't condemn it because it is, in fact, you. Okay. Embrace it, confront it, face it, love on it. And it will love on you back. You know, it's all a part of you. And so, like I said, I've evolved from just to focus on the femininity of me. No. I've evolved to the oneness of all, right? I'm a part of the one. We are one of one as one. Whatever the I am needs to be, the I am is, right? If you need a father, the I am appears to you as a father because that's what you have need of in that moment. But if you are in need of a mother, then the I am will appear to you as a mother because that's what you have need of in that moment. If you need a friend, the I am will be the friend that you need, right? So in the infinite intelligent one, the I am, the majestic one, the all encompassing one, the source is all. And we derive from that allness, right? And so in us is all as well. So that's what I subscribe to now in my nowness, right? And I'm grateful for that understanding, that inner standing, because it cancels separatism. It quiets the noise of division. I am not compartmentalized. I am one, right? And so are you. So I felt that it was time for not just for me to evolve, but my organization to evolve when I evolve. And that's where the new name and facelift came, Voices of Empowerment with Dr. B, because we're all voices of empowerment. All of our voices are needed for us all to be empowered collectively as one, right? And I thank you all for embracing the new facelift. I love it. It has a ring to it, voices of empowerment. And I love it. I love that for all of us. I really, really do. Okay. We are airing on so many different platforms. The OG Triple OG Clubhouse. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We are airing on live on Clubhouse. We're also on Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, Twitter. We're everywhere, you all, right now as we speak. So I want to welcome and thank every last one of you all on all platforms for being here, sharing this space, sharing this evening with us. We're not going to be long because you know how I feel about the Tuesday nights. It's already late in the evening. I'm on the East Coast. Okay, so it's already after 8 o'clock. And I know around this time you're kind of winding down. You're getting you're digesting dinner, probably, if not eating dinner, which is great because I can be listened to as you would listen to an audible or something because we are collectively going through this book. What book am I talking about? I'm talking about our new book that we just began this past Sunday, entitled The Seat of the Soul. The Seat of the Soul. It is authored by Gary Zukav. The Seat of the Soul. When I tell you, we did the introduction and chapter 1, evolution. My goodness. Okay. I'll tell you how you can get your free copy at the end of the segment. But today, for right now, I want you to just stick around. Let me read to you. And you just fuel yourself with the information because my Lord, it is so good. Okay. And so I'm going to go ahead and if at any point you hear anything that sticks out to you, feel free to utilize the comment section because that's what it's there for. Okay. That's what it's there for. The chat section, wherever you're listening from, utilize the comments in the chats because I will give voice to your words. Okay. But if you have an insight, share it with us so we can all share in that insight. Okay. Alrighty, without further ado, we're going to begin The Seat of the Soul, Chapter 2, entitled Karma. We've all heard of it, okay? Here we go. Most of us are accustomed to the belief that our participation in the process of evolution is limited to the duration of a single lifetime. This belief reflects the perspective of the five sensory personality. From the point of view of the five sensory personality, nothing of itself lasts beyond its lifetime. And there is nothing in the experience of the five sensory human that is not of itself. The multisensory human, too, understands that nothing of itself lasts beyond its lifetime, but is also aware of its immortal soul. The lifetime of your personality is one of a myriad of experiences of your soul. The soul exists outside of time. It does. The perspective of the soul is immense, and the perception of the soul is without the limitations of the personality. Souls that have chosen the physical experience of life as we know it as a path of evolution have, in general, incarnated their energies many times into many psychological and physical forms. For each incarnation, the soul creates a different personality and body. The personality and the body that for the five sensory human are the experiential entirety of its existence, are for its soul the unique and perfectly suited instruments of a particular incarnation. Each personality contributes in its own special way with its own special aptitudes and lessons to learn consciously and unconsciously to the evolution of its soul. The life of a mother, a warrior, a daughter, a priest, the experiences of love, vulnerability, fear, loss, and tenderness, the struggles with anger, defiance, emptiness, and jealousy all serve the evolution of the soul. Yes, it does. All things, good, bad, ugly, or indifferent, work together for our good, okay? If we choose to see it that way. Each physical emotional, and psychological characteristic that comprises a personality and its body, strong or weak arms, dense or penetrating intellect, happy or despairing disposition, yellow or black skin, even hair, and eye color is perfectly suited to its soul's purpose. I want to reiterate that. I really want to just let that breathe for a minute. I'm going to reread that. Each physical, emotional, and psychological characteristic that comprises a personality and its body, everything that we are at this very moment for this life, strong or weak arms, dense or penetrating intellect, happy or despairing disposition, yellow or black skin, even hair or eye color, is perfectly suited to its soul's purpose. There's a reason why I was born in this iteration as a Black woman, as a Black girl. There's a reason why I was born in this age and time. There's a reason why I was born to the parents that I was born to. There's a reason why I was born to the bloodline and lineage that I was born to, because all of it was perfectly suited for my soul's purpose in this particular iteration, same as you. So for us to get hung up, that's why I started off our conversation with the necessity to evolve out of the categories and the division of the things, all of our particulars in this personality, in this persona, in this iteration. It's not it's not to say, well, I'm this and you're that. No, 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 no. I needed to be this because it suited my soul's purpose in this life. That is the reason why I'm this. That is the reason why you're that. Because it is suited, it was perfectly suited for your soul's purpose. Not for us to compare and contrast. No, for us to get to our purpose. That's it. That's all. The five sensory personality is not aware of the many other incarnations of its soul. A multisensory personality may be conscious of these incarnations or experience them. Yes, past life memories, past life regressions, all of those things, as its own past or future lives. They are in its family of lives, so to speak, but they are not lives that it itself has lived. Right. Because me in this iteration is Bianca. This is the only time I will be Bianca, right? In another iteration, I could be Rebecca, But in this one, this is the only time that I have been or will be Bianca. Okay. Now you're gonna have to approach this book and this understanding from an expanded mindset. You cannot go at this book with a rational, logical thing, because the things of the spirit are foolish to the people of the world or to the mindset of the 3D, of the human brain. You're going to have to transcend your limited thinking, your human brain. Okay. All right. They are experiences of its soul. From the point of view of the soul, all of its incarnations are simultaneous. Everything, everywhere, all at once. Every life is happening at the same time. All of its personalities exist at once. Therefore, the release of negativity that occurs in one of the soul's incarnations benefits not only itself, but all of its soul's other incarnations also. So when you evolve in this life, it benefits every other self of you in every other time, every other space. Because the soul itself is not confined to time. The past of a personality, as well as its future, is enhanced when a personality releases currents of fears and doubts. My God, that is mind blowing. As we shall see, the release of negativity by a personality benefits a great many other dynamics of consciousness as well. Some of these can be perceived by the five sensory human, but appear to him or her neither as dynamics or consciousness, nor as related to his or her inner processes, such as the consciousness and evolution of his or her sex, race, nation, and culture. Others extend far beyond the perceptual ability of the five sensory human. A conscious lifestyle, therefore, is a treasure beyond value. It is, though. Oh, my goodness. To remain tethered to this human thinking is so, so arresting. It's so limiting. My God, man. Whew, I'm grateful. Let's just say that the personality and its body are artificial aspects of the soul. When they have served their functions at the end of a soul's incarnation, the soul releases them. The soul releases the artificial aspects. The soul releases the body. That's when a person passes. When they have served their functions at the end of the soul's incarnation, the soul releases the body. They come to an end, but the soul does not. After an incarnation, the soul returns to its immortal and timeless state. It returns once again to its natural state of compassion, clarity, and boundless love. My goodness. My goodness. I'm smiling because a very, very dear friend just released his body. This was this time last month. And I'm happy. I was happy then, of course. You know, we're still mourning the release of his body. We're still mourning that right now. You know, our human selves are. But man, I'm happy, and I've been happy. I've been happy because he appeared to me happy on the day of, hours later. Because he once again returned to his natural state of compassion, clarity, and boundless love. And I love that for him so very much. I love that for anybody who has gone on back home. I love that so very much. This is the context in which our evolution occurs, the continual incarnation and reincarnation of the energy of the soul into the physical arena, into our earth school. Because that's exactly what this is, earth school. Every single circumstance, every person, everything, every opportunity, every level, everything is a teaching moment. You are students. We are students at always. Why does this happen? Why is it necessary even to speak of personalities and souls? The incarnation of a soul is a massive reduction of the power of the soul to a scale that is appropriate to a physical form. It is a reduction of an immortal life system into the framework of time in the span of a few years. It is the reduction of a perceptual system that partakes simultaneously through direct experience of countless lifetimes, some of them physical and some of them non physical, to the five physical senses. The soul chooses voluntarily to undertake this experience in order to heal. The soul chooses voluntarily to undertake this experience in order to heal. The personality is those parts of the soul that require healing, along with those parts of the soul, such as compassion and love, that the soul has lent to the process of healing in that lifetime. The splintered aspects of the soul, the aspects that require healing, need to interact in physical matter so that each part of that splinteredness can become whole. Yes, yes, yes. The personality is like a complex mandala that is formed from these splintered parts in addition to the parts that are not splintered. That's why I said earlier, you gotta embrace and love on and accept the light and the dark, the good and the bad, because it's all necessary. It's all a part of the oneness, okay? And it takes the light to remedy the dark, to console the dark. It takes the dark to appreciate the light, okay? To even realize that light is necessary. Yeah, man. It comes directly from the parts of the soul that the soul has chosen to work on in this lifetime to heal, that need to experience physical matter, and those parts that the soul has given to the process of healing in which you are involved. Therefore, you can see within a person's personality the splintered suffering of the soul from which it was formed. It's so true, as well as the grace that the soul has earned, which is the loving part of the personality. Consider how powerful the soul is if it can have a part of itself that experiences great love, a part of itself that experiences fear, a part of itself that is perhaps neutral, a part of that experiences schizophrenia, and a part that is dramatically compassionate. If any of these parts are incomplete, the personality that the soul forms will be out of harmony. The harmonious personality is one in which the soul flows easily through the part of itself that is in touch with its physical incarnation. The soul is, the soul is. It has no beginning and no end, but flows toward wholeness. The soul simply is, yes. The personality emerges as a natural force from the soul. It is an energy tool that the soul adapts to function within the physical world. Mhm. Each personality is unique because the configuration of energy of the soul that formed it is unique. It is the personality of the soul, so to speak, that interacts with physical matter. It is a product that is formed from the vibrational aspects of your name, the vibrational aspect of your relationship to planets at the time of your incarnation, meaning that where every planet is located at the angle and degrees that it was located at the moment you were born into this realm, in the time, the very moment of your incarnation into this realm. That is how you configure the birth chart. Okay. The saying that, parenting did not come with a manual, that is not true. It is the child's birth natal chart. You can see what they're going to be, what's along their journey to heal and to grow in. You'll be able to see that on their birth chart. Okay. And vibrational aspects of your energy environment, as well as from the splintered aspects of your soul that need to interact in physical matter in order to be brought into wholeness. That's it. That's it. That's it. That way, when you get that birth natal chart at the age of baby, when your parents get that birth natal chart, or you as a parent can get the baby's birth natal chart, you'll be able to have a head start in what this child will need to go through or heal in, what areas over the course of their entire life. And you will be able to get ahead of that, because the first 7 years of that child's life, the root chakra is being developed, meaning the foundation of that child is being developed. And you'll be able to support those things in based upon what you see, what areas you see in their life that they will have a challenge in, or where they will have their strengths in. You'll be able to see that. Yeah, you'll be able to see that. Yes, yes, yes. I love that. Okay. The personality does not operate independently from the soul. To the extent that a person is in touch with spiritual depths, the personality is soothed because the energy of the consciousness is focused on its energy core and not on its artificial facade, which is the personality. That's right. Personality, the root word of personality is persona. That word is Latin, which means mask. So the facade, a mask, is which is ego. That's where ego resides as well. Okay, so we hide behind that persona, that personality, that mask all the time, and claim that that is us when it's in fact not. The personality sometimes appears as a force running rampant in the world with no attachment to the energy of its soul. This situation can be the origin of what we call an evil human being, and it can be the origin of a schizophrenic human being. It is the result of the personality being unable to find its reference point or connection to its mothership, which is its soul. The conflicts of a human's life are directly proportional to the distance at which an energy of the personality exists separately from the soul, and therefore, as we shall see, in an irresponsible position of creation. When a personality is in full balance, you cannot see where it ends and the soul begins. That's it. That is a whole human being. Love that. When you align your personality with your soul, and then you demonstrate from the soul in this human body, right? That's good. What is involved in the healing of a soul? Most of us are accustomed to the idea that we are responsible for some of our actions, but not all of them. We consider ourselves responsible, for example, for the good deed that brings our neighbor and us together, or for responding to it positively. But we do not consider ourselves responsible for the argument between us and our neighbor, or for responding to it negatively. We consider ourselves responsible for having a safe trip if we take the time to check the condition of the car before starting. But if we speed around a car that, in our opinion, has been traveling too slowly and almost cause an accident by doing that, we consider the other driver to be responsible. If we feed and clothe ourselves through our successful business, we credit ourselves. If we feed and clothe ourselves by burglarizing apartments, we blame our difficult childhood. Come on, trust me, I hear it all the time being a therapist. For many of us, being held responsible is equal to getting caught. A friend who returns each year to his native Italy told me, with a twinkle in his eye, of a dinner out with his family. When the bill came, my friend's father, who is a fastidious, okay, examined each scribbled item. After some study, he deciphered the last entry and recognized it to be a short expression that translates roughly, if it goes, it goes. He called the waiter and asked, "What is this item?" The waiter shrugged. It didn't go. Many of us feel that if a clerk gives us too much change and we take it, our life has been affected only to the extent that we have come into an unexpected gain. Right. The first thing I know, some people first thing say, "Oh, look at God, boy, God, but God, come on, God, send the blessing." hmm In fact, each of our acts affects us in far reaching ways. Every action, thought, and feeling is motivated by an intention, and that intention is a cause that exists as one with an effect. If we participate in the cause, it is not possible for us not to participate in the effect. Exactly. In this most profound way, we are held responsible for our every action, thought, and feeling, which is to say, for our every intention. We ourselves shall partake of the fruit of every intention, of our every intention. I'm going to say that again. We ourselves shall partake of the fruit of our every intention. There's a saying that a friend of mine says, she says, every person working will get paid. Okay? Every person working will get paid. We shall partake of the fruit of our every intention. It is therefore wise for us to become aware of the many intentions that inform our experience. Come on. To sort out which intentions produce which effects, and to choose our intentions according to the effects that we desire to produce. Yes. Think before you speak, think before you feel, think before you say, think before you do. Yep. Choose wisely. Choose your intentions according to the effects that you wish to desire and that you desire to produce. This is the way that we learn about physical reality as children, and that we refine our knowledge of it as adults. We learn the effect of crying when we are hungry, and we repeat the cause that brings us the effect that we desire. It's true. Uh-huh. We learn in psychology, in ABA, that's called antecedent, behavior, and consequence. Okay. The antecedent would be the crying. Oh, no, the antecedent would be the hunger, the growing hungry. The behavior is the crying, and the consequence would be you get fed. So anytime if you're trained that if you once you go hungry, antecedent, every time you cry, behavior, it'll result in some food being presented to you, which is the consequence. You're going to do it every single time. Okay. You're going to do it every single time. All right. We learn the effect of putting a finger in a light socket, and we do not repeat the cause that produces that effect. Exactly. Okay. That hot stove, all of that. We also learn about intentions and their effects through our experiences in physical reality. But learning that intentions produce specific effects and what those effects are proceeds slowly when our learning must be done solely through the density of physical matter. Anger, for example, causes distance and hostile interactions. If we must learn this solely through physical experience, we may have to experience it 10 or 15 or 150 circumstances of distance from another and hostile interactions before we come to the understanding that it is the orientation of anger on our part, the intention of hostility and distance, and not this particular action or that, which produces the effect that we do not want. This is predominantly the way that a 5th-century human learns, by experience. Okay. The relationship of cause and effect within the domain of physical objects and phenomena reflects a dynamic that is not limited to physical reality. This is the dynamic of karma. Everything in the physical world, including each of us, is a small part of dynamics that are more extensive than a 5th-century human can perceive. Yes, the love, fear, compassion, and anger that you experience, for example, are only a small part of the love, fear, compassion, and anger of a larger energy system that you do not see. Within physical reality, the dynamic of karma is reflected by the third law of motion. For every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. In other words, the great law of karma that governs the balancing of energy within our evolutionary system is reflected within the domain of physical objects and phenomena by the last of three principles, three laws of motion that govern the balancing of energy within physical reality. The law of karma is an impersonal energy dynamic. When its effects are personalized, that is, experienced from the point of view of the personality, they are experienced as a reversal in the direction, a coming back to the intender of the energy of his or her intentions. Okay, gotcha. This is how the personality experiences the impersonal dynamic that is described by the third law as an equal and opposite reaction. The person who intends hatred for others experiences the intention of hatred from others. That's it. A person who intends hatred, who wants to give hatred to others, experiences that intention of hatred from others. Okay? As the elders would say in the South, the elders would say, be careful of who you dig that hole for, because you yourself might fall in it. Okay? In other words, they say you reap what you sow. What goes around comes around. Okay? So be mindful what you put out there. A lot of people, I do a lot of spiritual workings and things like that. And a lot of people several people have asked me to do spiritual workings for somebody. Okay. And they'll say, well, I need you to do this. It harms stuff, harmful things. And I tell them, first of all, what you're not going to ever do is put me in the pocket to receive that foolishness. Okay. I don't want to have no parts of that. No, thank you. Even when I can do the workings on my own, I have chosen to decline the opportunity. Why? Because there's no way that I'm going to open myself up for that type of return to come. Okay? Oh, no. No, thank you. No, thank you. The person who intends hatred for others experiences the intention of hatred from others. The person who intends love for others experiences the intention of love from others, and so forth. The golden rule is a behavioral guide that is based upon the dynamic of karma. A personalized statement of karma would be, you receive from the world what you give to the world. Ah, my goodness. Karma is not a moral dynamic. It has nothing to do with faith, religion, none of that. Morality is a human creation. I'm gonna say that again for the people in the bike, BYKE. Karma is not a moral dynamic. Morality is a human creation. All of the rules and regulations and this and the third, that's all man. Man used it to bring subjection. Man used it to oppress. Man used it to make people to rule people, govern them, and put them under their thumb. That's the only reason that religion is existing. That's the only reason. None of that was necessary. Because if you do right, then right comes back to you. We don't need a government, a religion, or nobody to tell us that. Okay. But powers, what they call the powers that be, due to power, dominion, oppression, colonization, capitalism. That's why all of this stuff is in existence as it is today. And it just so happened it stuck, and it's being widespread. Okay. Crazy. Because it's easier to train and condition people than for people to think freely on their own, govern themselves. All right. Because karma is going to teach you now, you know. Hey. The universe does not judge. The law of karma governs the balancing of energy within our system of morality and within those of our neighbors. It serves humanity as an impersonal and universal teacher of responsibility. It's a law. It's a law. So if a person, say for instance, if a person does bad, they don't need the law to tell them don't do it. They don't need to be forced into doing it because they won't get it. They have to get it on their own for it to stick. Right? And the universe, the way that the laws work, like the law of gravity, the law of attraction, the law of karma, all of that stuff, it works. Whether it happens right now, 5 years from now, 20 years, it doesn't matter. Trust and believe it's coming back. You better believe it. Okay? You better believe it. And it's going to teach that lesson. We don't need all of these, people welding their power and rah, 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 and I'm in control and do as I say. We don't need all of that. Okay? Trust me, the lesson is going to come. Every cause that has not yet produced its effect is an event that has not yet come to completion. That's it. That's it. But it's coming. It is an imbalance of energy that is in the process of becoming balanced. Trust me, that balancing of energy does not always occur within the span of a single lifetime. Ooh, 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 wee. Ooh, wee. Ooh, wee. Now, that's a word right there, okay? How many have heard the term that the children pay for the sins of the father? That's real, okay? The karma of your soul is created and balanced by the activities of its many personalities, including you. Often a personality experiences effects that were created by other of its soul's personalities. Listen here. So what they're saying is, wee. That if you are having a hellish of a life in this life, it's probably karma from the stuff, the causes that you created in another iteration that you had previously. Yikes. Yikes. Whoa. Ooh wee. That's serious right there. That is serious right there. Okay. Wow. Okay. Therefore, without knowledge of its soul, reincarnation, and karma, it is not always possible for a personality to understand the significance or the meaning of the events of its life, or to understand the effects of its responses to them. For example, a personality that takes advantage of others create an imbalance of energy that must be righted by the experience of being taken advantage of by others. Yikes. Woo wee. If that cannot be accomplished within the lifetime of this personality, another of its soul's personalities will experience being taken advantage of by other people. My God. Ooh, my God. This should right here. It's not even a scare tactic. This should be the reason why, though, we we are mindful of how we do and how we treat ourselves and others, to be honest. Okay. If that personality does not understand that the experience of being taken advantage of by others is the effect of a previous cause, and that this experience is bringing to completion an impersonal process, it will react from a personal point of view rather than from the point of view of its soul. It's so true. They're going to make it a subjective thing. Like this is about, it's going to be self centered versus other centered or versus subjective understanding or objective understanding that yeah, this is not a personal thing. This is something that I needed to heal through right here. It may become angry, yes, for example, or vengeful or depressed. It may lash out or grow cynical or withdraw into sorrow, ruminate, right? Each of these responses creates karma, another imbalance of energy, which in turn must be balanced. So it's like it's cyclical, cyclical. It's going around and around and around and around and around continually until the balance occurs. In this way, one karmic debt has been paid, so to speak, by another, or others has been created. Jeez. If a child dies early in its life, we do not know what agreement was made between that child's soul and the soul of its parents. My goodness. Or what healing was served by that experience. Ooh, now that hit me because my son passed right after he was born. And I learned it took me 10 years. It'll be 14 years, April 24th. Took me 10 years for me to understand the karmic reason, excuse me, why my son went through that process. Yeah, took me 10 years. And at the 10th year is when I said, okay, I'm not mourning him ever again because his purpose was served. And I'm so grateful for him for that. Although we are sympathetic to the anguish of the parents, we cannot judge this event. If we or the parents of this child do not understand the impersonal nature of the dynamic that is in motion, we may react with anger towards the universe. Absolutely. And I did. That's why it took me 10 years. Or towards each other. Or with guilt if we feel that our actions were inadequate. All of these reactions create karma and more lessons for the soul to learn, more karmic debts for the soul to pay up here. Yeah. In order to become whole, the soul must balance its energy. It must experience the effects that it caused. The energy imbalances in the soul are the incomplete parts of the soul that form the personality. Personalities in interaction are souls that are seeking to heal. Personalities in interaction are souls that are seeking to heal. Whether an iteration between souls is healing or not depends upon whether the personality involved can see beyond itself objectively and that of the other personality to the interaction of their souls. Yes, this perception automatically draws forth compassion. Every experience and every interaction provides you with an opportunity to look from the point of view of your soul or from the point of view of your personality. So either way, both options are there, and we got to choose whichever one we want to look from, the view of your soul or the view of your personality. What does this mean in practical terms? How does a personality begin to look beyond itself and to see its soul in interaction with the souls of others? Since we cannot know what is being healed through each interaction, what karmic debts are coming to conclusion cannot judge what we see. For example, when we see a person sleeping in the gutter in the winter, we do not know what is being completed for that soul. Yeah, man. We do not know whether that soul has engaged in cruelty in another lifetime and now has chosen to experience the same dynamic from an entirely different point of view. As, for example, the target of charity. It is appropriate that we respond to his or her circumstances with compassion, but it is not appropriate that we perceive it as unfair because it is not. My goodness. Ooh, that right there literally says, and I've known this already, but it literally just paints a beautiful picture that everything that's happening is supposed to happen. Nothing occurs that is not supposed to occur when it's supposed to occur. As hard as it may be to digest, everything happening is happening for a reason. So think it not unfair, right? Perceive it not unfair. We can show compassion to it for sure, but we can't perceive it as unfair because we don't know what karmic repayment this is, what is being balanced. There are personalities that are selfish and hostile and negative, but even in these cases, we cannot fully know the reasons why. These are hidden from view. That does not mean that we cannot recognize negativity when we see it, but we can't judge it. That is not our place. If we intervene in an argument or break up a fight, it is not appropriate that we judge the participants. Of one thing we can be certain: a person that is engaging in violence is hurting deeply because a healthy and balanced soul is incapable of harming another. That's a fact. My God. Because a healthy and balanced soul is incapable of harming another. One thing we can say for certain: a person that is engaging in violence or hurt of other people is hurting deeply because a healthy and balanced soul is incapable of harming another. They won't even think of it. Wow. When we judge, we create negative karma. Jeez. Yep. Yep. My toes just got stepped on. Ooh. Don't get me wrong, I'm doing much better. I will say I'm doing much better in my now self than my goodness. When we judge, we create negative karma. Judgment is a function of the personality. When we say of another soul, she is worthy or he is not worthy, we create negative karma. When we say of an action, this is right or that is wrong, we create negative karma. This does not mean that we should not act appropriately to the circumstances in which we find ourselves. If our car is hit by another car, for example, and the driver of the other car is drunk, it is appropriate that the other driver be held responsible, sure, through the courts for the repair of our car. It is appropriate that he or she be prohibited from driving while intoxicated, yes. It is not appropriate that we allow our actions to be motivated by feelings of indignation, righteousness, or victimization. These feelings are the results of judgments that we make about ourselves and the other person, assessments through which we see ourselves as superior to another being. If we act upon these feelings, not only do we increase the karmic obligations of our soul, but we also are not able to enter into these feelings and learn from them. That's it. Feelings, as we shall see, are the means through which we can discern the parts of itself that the soul seeks to heal. Yes, I say a lot of times to clients, your feelings they come up to inform. They're simply there to inform you. What is it informing you of? That's for you to find out, but not for you to sit in them. You know what I'm saying? Feelings, as we shall see, are the means through which we can discern the parts of ourself, of itself, that the soul seeks to heal, and through which we come to see the action of the soul in physical matter. The road to your soul is through your heart. If we are to engage the viewpoint of the soul, we must cease from judging, even those events that appear to be unfathomable, such as the cruelty of an inquisition or a holocaust, the death of an infant, the prolonged agony of death by cancer, or a life confined to a bed. We do not know what is being healed in these sufferings or the details of the energetic circumstances that is coming into balance. It is appropriate that we allow ourselves to feel the compassion that such circumstances call forth in us and to act upon it. But if we allow ourselves to judge these events and those who participate in them, we create negative karma that must be balanced. And we ourselves will be among those souls that choose to participate in circumstances that are necessary to that balancing. Ooh, everybody working will get paid. My goodness. If we do not judge, how can there be justice? Okay, that's the question. Gandhi was beaten several times during his life. Although on two occasions he nearly died, he refused to prosecute his attackers because he saw that they were doing what they thought was right. Even Christ. Okay. So, okay, here I'm getting ahead of it because he's about to bring up this position of non-judgmental acceptance was central to Gandhi's life. Yeah. The Christ did not judge even those who spit in his face and who subjected him without mercy to his pain and humiliation. He asked forgiveness, not vengeance, for those who tortured him. Did neither the Christ nor Gandhi know the meaning of justice? They knew non-judgment justice. What is non-judgment justice? Judgmental justice is a perception that allows you to see everything in life, but does not engage your negative emotions. Non-judgmental justice relieves you of the self-appointed job of judge and jury because you know that everything is being seen, nothing escapes the law of karma. And this brings forth understanding and compassion. Non-judgmental justice is the freedom of seeing what you see and experiencing what you experience without responding negatively. It allows you to experience directly the unobstructed flow of the intelligence, radiance, and love of the universe in which our physical reality is a part of. Non-judgmental justice flows naturally from understanding the soul and how it evolves. This, then, is the framework of our evolutionary process, the continual incarnation and reincarnation of the energy of the soul into physical reality for the purpose of healing and balancing its energy in accordance with the law of karma. Within this framework, we evolve as individuals and as a species through the cycle of being unempowered to becoming empowered. Yet the experiences that we encounter in this process need not be the kind that we have encountered to now. Mm, mm, mm. That thing opened my eyes big time, big time, big time, big time. Sheesh, that opened my eyes. Karma. We've heard of it, right? We've heard of karma, but did we ever fully have a full understanding of what karma meant? I knew of karma, but this just opened my eyes greatly to what karma actually is. My goodness, this is why we only do like a chapter or two, depending on what how the length of the chapters. This book, I'm not doing going beyond one chapter because this needs to be chewed on. This information needs to be chewed on for sure. And again, you already know we do not read books simply because just simply to get them read. That's not what we do this for. We read to understand, to understand, to connect, to align, to adhere, and to evolve. That's what we read for. And so, the old saying, in fact, there's a book that I have. It is entitled Eating the Elephant One Bite at a Time. That's what we're doing here. We got to eat it one bite at a time. Because this right here, like what we just finished reading, that's a lot. And that's one you have to kind of sit with for a minute, let it marinate. And so that's what we're going to do, okay? And then on Sunday, we're going to be reading chapter 3, which is entitled Reverence. Reverence. Oh, this is good. How can you get your book? Well, it's like I say every time we come on here, email me. Where do you email me? You email me at info@biancamisblee.com. Email me at info@biancamisblee.com. You can also visit my website, okay? Go to www.biancamisblee.com and you'll see everything that I offer, merchandise. You'll see classes, courses, workshops. You'll see previous interviews and conversations, talks, panels that I've done. You'll see all of the things. And you'll also see how you can schedule anything that you want, whether it's a conversation, a meditation session, a working, a reading, whatever you need. It is right there for you, okay? Also follow me on social media, you all. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, YouTube. Everywhere you see me, you'll be able to type in or search Dr. Bianca Miss B. Lee, and I'll be right there. I'll be right there for you, okay? Follow me, follow me, follow me. I thank you so very much, okay? Listen, you all. That concludes tonight's session. I told you, I don't like to keep you long, especially on a Tuesday night, because I want to get you back to your family and your loved ones and even yourself, okay? But you all know what it is. You all know how we get down. You know. Okay. We will be back here on Sunday, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here at Voices of Empowerment with Dr. B. You already know I love you. I mean it. There is absolutely, positively nothing you can do about it. Don't you even try. We'll see you back here on Sunday, right here at Voices of Empowerment with Dr. B. Peace.